Hello, my name is Asha Sampet and welcome to this new edition of Business Africa, your magazine dedicated to the continent's business and economic news. As usual, you can win $150 in our Business Africa game. More details later, but first, today's top stories. Beninese authorities are betting on the setup of pop-up COVID vaccination huts in busy areas at the Parakou International Fair.
The Parakou International Fair is an opportunity to vaccinate as many people as possible. We want to encourage the maximum number of people to benefit from vaccination against COVID-19.
Business of waste recycling and job creation. A Cameroonian company has found a solution against pollution.
Where we might need a lot of resources, we've made do with the means that can be found locally. This includes manual collection, manual sorting, using tricycles, and raising local awareness, methods that can work in Africa.
Unemployed graduates and microcredit, a winning combination to supply Khartoum with vegetables.
I completed my studies but couldn't get work, so I came here. Like so many Sudanese women, I've always dreamt of being independent, having my own space and my own ideas.
Visitors and vendors at the Parakou International Fair in Benin have not hesitated to come massively for getting vaccinations to protect themselves against COVID-19. An ambitious bet by the municipal authorities and the medical profession to set up vaccination sheds to persuade the population to get vaccinated. A great success, as our correspondent in Benin, Didier Asogba, found out. Take a look.
The Beninese government is aiming to step up COVID-19 vaccination coverage of its population. The state decided the best way to achieve this was a policy of moving vaccination hubs to places with large gatherings, such as the International Fair held in Parakou in December 2021, where a vaccination centre was established.
The
Parakou International Fair is an opportunity to vaccinate as many people as possible. We want to encourage the maximum number of people to benefit from vaccination against COVID-19. In addition, we had clear instructions from senior health officials to help organize the fair, so that members of the public that wish to be vaccinated could be. The local vaccination strategy was introduced after less than 4% of the population in Benin had been vaccinated by the end of 2021, far below the authorities' target of 40%. The new policy, aimed at places where people meet, provides a window of opportunity for those that understand the need to be vaccinated.
I came to sell water at the fair. I noticed that they were conducting COVID vaccinations. So I came to get vaccinated because of the virus that is rampant in the world, and also to protect myself and protect others. My husband had the Sinovac vaccine and he asked me to do it, and that's what I did.
This vaccination unit makes life easier for both sellers and buyers at this fair.
I came as a visitor at the fair and I did the vaccine because there's the virus, as you know. I wanted to do it, and when I came to the fair, I found that they were doing it here. That's why I took the opportunity to do it at the same time.
The public can choose from several vaccines. The most popular seems to be Johnson & Johnson, a choice confirmed by what we saw in the vaccination team, who declined to be interviewed on camera. I chose Johnson because when I got here they didn't really explain what these vaccines are or what they really do. I don't like injections, but I learned that you only need one dose of the Johnson vaccine, and that's why I chose it. A further incentive to get vaccinated was a decision taken by Benin's Council of Ministers in October. The measure requires a health pass or a negative PCR test no more than 48 hours before access to public services throughout the country.
At the same time, if I take Johnson, it's better as it's in one shot. It's better to do the vaccine because you have the card and they will provide it after going somewhere, or if there's a problem and they ask you to take out the vaccination card, it's best. I would rather do the vaccination to get the card.
Dr. Akim Gouda, the coordinating physician for the Parakou zone, has a simple explanation for the choice of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and the success of the local vaccination strategy. We provide information to people before they get vaccinated. Everyone has some concerns, and some don't always have time to come back. I think that's the main reason for choosing the one-dose vaccine. Benin has tried several vaccination strategies in response to the pandemic, but reaching out to people is proving the most successful. This method has increased the number of people vaccinated from less than 350,000 in November to almost 2 million in January, according to figures published by the Ministry of Health.
As the COVID pandemic enters a more endemic phase on the continent, the Africa Centre for Disease Control and Prevention has asked donors to better coordinate the shipment of vaccine with the African Union. The idea is to avoid waste, since 29 African states have used only half of their COVID vaccine stocks, according to the World Health Organization, the WHO. COVAX initiative deliveries in Africa increased by 100% between November and January. While the Treaty of the Continental Free Trade Area is still being applied, ECOWAS has just set up a new organization to promote trade, the Regional Trade Facilitation Committee. Set up in Lomé in Togo, it will coordinate representatives of different administrations and the private sector with the aim of strengthening trade integration in the ECOWAS region by facilitating the free movement of goods and people, mostly within different country borders. The collection and recycling of used objects, especially plastics, is an economic sector that is growing very quickly in Africa. Far from being a nuisance, the garbage that litters the streets of many African cities has become for some a source of income. Cameroonian companies have thus decided to combine the fight against environmental pollution and waste business, resulting in many job creations. Abubakar Siddiq Munchili, our reporter, takes us to Douala to discover a very ambitious young company in this promising sector. Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon. Despite the positive transformation of the city every day, this metropolis has another face, plagued by garbage of all kinds, abandoned in nature by the populations in many neighborhoods, who pollute the environment, clog drains and create floods.
Just last week we worked on this drain. We completely cleared the drain, but to our unpleasant surprise, the drain is still full of garbage.
A real headache and environmental disaster, especially with regard to plastic waste, which this young promoter and his company have chosen to tackle by building their reputation on an original solution adapted to the local situation.
We have tried to adapt the situation in Cameroon by developing alternative solutions. In other words, where we might need a lot of resources, we've made do with the means that can be found locally. This includes manual collection, manual sorting, using tricycles, and raising local awareness, methods that can work in Africa.
Red Plast is the challenge of young Cameroonian students, influenced by an ecological approach to economics. It was designed within the framework of inter-university competitions in the country during the 2010 edition Environment and Management of Natural Resources section. A group of young people who wanted to provide a solution to the plastic pollution problem in the city of Douala.
It's a project that was needed for Cameroon and for Africa because we have ambitious plans helping solve Africa's environmental issues.
The company was created in 2012 and since then has successfully handled environmental remediation and even business around plastic waste through recycling. Garbage is a gold mine, a niche of opportunity for Rodrigue Ngonde and his team.
Red Plus collects all types of plastic, such as bottles, cling film. Anything that's plastic on the site is collected.
The team said this young company crisscrossed the city of Douala to collect waste as part of the Eco-Collect program and also educate households on sorting garbage, as well as schools. Other localities in Cameroon, such as Yaoundé, are not to be outdone.
Once the waste has been collected, it is transported to the treatment plant where it is sorted, washed and crushed. We can collect up to 2,000 tons at our collection points. As I said, we are expecting to reach 10,000 tons by 2025.
The recycling work or raw material production for other companies based on the waste collected in the field is done here at the factory, built in the heart of the industrial district Bonaberi, located on the outskirts of the city of Douala. Finished or semi-finished products are obtained at the end of a long and meticulous process which requires heavy technical means and varied skills.
When it arrives at the plant, it first gets weighed. The trucks enter the site, we have the workers who unload them, and then we weigh it.
The work here consists of several things. We manufacture the paving stones, we have the sorting of materials, we have the grinding, the weighing. We have a lot of work to do. Red Plast workforce is predominantly young. During the holidays, the company sometimes even launches large waste collection operations or caravans for young school or university students with the help of many partners, municipalities, businesses and other actors involved in the fight against urban pollution and the healthy preservation of the environment. These collection operations allow them to earn money to better prepare to get back to school after the summer break by becoming environmental defenders and real plastic waste hunters. They also give them the opportunity to learn a lot of things, as in the case of these factory workers. Through my work, I've learned a lot of things that I did not know: how to transform products, transforming abandoned waste into finished products and turning them into paving stones, transforming them into products that are very useful. I'm very moved by my work. Red Plast has many customers, companies that use these raw materials from waste transformation to manufacture other products out of it. These end products are, among others, tires, chairs, plastic tables, garbage bins, and the list is very long.
We make the products, granules, which are the raw materials for industry, replacing petroleum-based materials. 50,000 tons of granule are consumed every year by industry in Cameroon. Unfortunately, we can only produce 1,000 tons at the moment, but we intend to produce 10 to 20,000 tons by 2025, with the right investment.
For this promoter and the managers of several other organizations and NGOs also present in Cameroon on the field, as well as the market for the collection and recovery of plastic waste. This sector needs to be supported. Each year, Cameroon produces 600,000 tons of plastic waste, and only 20% of this waste is recycled. In other words, there is still a lot to be done, but these recycling companies see this sector as a fantastic land of opportunity to explore. Welcome to the second part of our show. What will be the impact of the events in Ukraine on the continent? Apart from serious concerns for 76,000 Africans, mostly students in Ukraine, other effects are to be expected in the longer term. The Russian attack thus sowed panic on the energy and grain markets. Egypt, the largest wheat importer, buys a large part of it from Russia and is looking for alternative solutions, just like many countries in sub-Saharan Africa that source their wheat from Moscow or Kiev. After the COVID shock, experts now expect a further inflationary push on food prices. And precisely encouraging news which could play in the future on the evolution of these food prices. A new trend observed by Rwandan exporters, the enthusiasm of the African consumer for products of the continent. In 2021, the country earned $543 million in agricultural export revenues, an increase of 39% compared to the previous year. Exports of tea, coffee, fruit, flowers and dairy products have taken off, thanks in particular to this African consumers' trend aiming to think local rather than import from Europe. Rwanda is already planning to double the value of its agricultural exports by 2024. Just 1 year after winning a mobile telephony tender in Ethiopia, the Kenyan operator Safaricom has inaugurated a new $100 million data center in Addis Ababa. Assembled by equipment manufacturers Huawei and Nokia in China, it will be operational in April for the start of commercial operations by the Safaricom, Vodafone and Sumitomo consortium in Ethiopia. The center also has the technology for Ethiopian customers to use Safaricom's M-Pesa mobile money service. Let's stay in the east of the continent in Sudan. This country has been very isolated on the international scene since a military coup last October. The ruling junta has moved closer to Russia and recently signed an agreement to foster cooperation between the two countries in agriculture, mining, energy and light industry. But the economic situation is currently very delicate. This could be a step backwards for a country that had tried to make it easier to employ young graduates. We followed these previously unemployed young people who have become the first suppliers of vegetables to Khartoum market. Take a look.
Afra has been working on this Sudanese farm for 10 years, growing vegetables, including cucumbers, lettuce and peppers. Despite having a degree in economics, Afra started off working in the fields, but now is in charge of 4 people.
I completed my studies but couldn't get work, so I came here. Like so many Sudanese women, I've always dreamt of being independent, having my own space and my own ideas. But I wasn't alone because I had the support of my father and my family. I worked hard to get where I am, and I gave it all I had. I'm very proud to be where I am today.
Graduate unemployment is a serious problem in today's Africa. Some see this as the direct result of college degrees being ill-adapted to market demand, and steps are being taken to redress the balance. Over the past decade, Sudan has helped finance work projects for graduates. In 2008, 300,000 of them were hired or received aid to set up small and medium-sized businesses with backing from a multi-donor fund. This was the case with the Abu Halima greenhouse project that counts Afra among its numerous employees.
There are three persons, chief supervisor. Now they assist. They are working with agricultural assistant, and we have also 12 supervisor. Each two greenhouse have 1 supervisor. Inside the greenhouse, we have 2 farmers.
I'm looking into ways of reproducing the idea of the greenhouses. I would like to have the same thing for myself and my family.
The Abu Halima greenhouse project is one of the Islamic Development Bank's proudest achievements to date. It was a collaboration with the Bank of Khartoum and IRADA, a microfinance mechanism. Thanks to this system of funding, there are now 25 greenhouse projects that have become the leading suppliers of fresh vegetables to the Khartoum region, with an annual production of 1,200 tons.
IRADA started in 2011 by the inauguration and signing ceremony of IDB in the 2011. The company, of course, had high ambitions, and it started with a great initiative and a great fund of 250 million. And that fund had also not just the banks in contributing to that fund, also the zakah being holding 25% of that fund. So it is now a compulsory for all banks to hold a portfolio of microfinance, which is 12% of that portfolio.
The moringa is another successful example of Islamic finance in Sudan. This multi-purpose tree is highly in demand for its seeds, which are used to make an oil that is popular with the cosmetics industry. But the tree's leaves, bark and timber also have 101 other uses. The Green Ishraka Company has based its business on the moringa. Situated 35 kilometers from Khartoum, the company has planted 30 hectares with the miraculous tree, which is good for business and also helps combat climate change.
It can absorb 16 kilograms of carbon dioxide. A human being put in the air 32 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So 2 trees will absorb what a human being put carbon dioxide.
The Green Ishraka Company does not just provide a monthly wage for hundreds of employees. The whole community reaps the rewards of planting the moringa, which helps fight desertification. In a country where the desert has crept 100 kilometers further south in just 50 years, and thanks to the moringa, young people are developing their entrepreneurial flair. With the money he's made on the plantations, Abdel Rahim wants to set up his own business.
I would like to find work as a chauffeur and buy a car with the money I earn. That's my plan. I'm going to invest the money I will earn doing that job.
The Abu Halima Greenhouse Project and the Ishraka Company are shining examples of how graduate unemployment can be beaten. With encouragement to set up their own ventures and the right access to funding, unemployed graduates can play their part in their country's development.
It's now time to reward our loyal viewers of Business Africa. It's up to you to answer to the following questions. If you're drawn among those who have given the correct answers, you will win $150. This is game number 571, so listen carefully to the 2 questions that follow and good luck. First question, where are Parakou Fair visitors being vaccinated? At home, at the hospital, in a shed? Second question, when was Red Plus created? 2001, 2012, 2020. You know the answers. You can participate now by going to our website africaonair.com, answer the questions, fill out your form, and good luck. And of course, don't forget to include your contact details, name, address, telephone, email, and the number of the game you are entering with the answers, of course. This game, for example, is game number 571. Check out the terms and conditions in the replay section on our news website, africaonair.com. The winner will receive $150. As our winner this week, congratulations, you gave the correct answers to our game number 570. Here are the details. First question, how many visitors did the last Parakou Fair welcome? The answer, 20,000. Second question, which financial markets merged to create the Douala Stock Exchange? Answer, Douala and Libreville. That's it, Business Africa is over for today. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel. For Initiative Africa, I will receive Harry Yumbi, the president of Reda Capital, which provides seed funds to young African startups. In the meantime, you can catch this show again on our news website, africaonair.com, as well as on all our social media channels. Feel free to share, like and comment using the hashtag Business Africa. Take care of yourselves and see you next week. Goodbye.